A single dad walks into a coffee shop, expecting just another awkward blind date. But the moment he sees her in a wheelchair, tears already streaming down her face, everything changes. She's begging him to leave, terrified he'll reject her the second he realizes she's deaf and paralyzed. Both of them were lied to, both tricked by the same friend. Yet what she says next, and what he does after, will leave you in tears. Stay with me, because this is the most beautiful love story you'll hear all year. A quiet autumn afternoon in Portland. Torrin Gray arrives 15 minutes early, hands sweaty, heart racing. He orders a simple black coffee and sits in the corner, watching the door like his life depends on it. His best friend Stellan swore this date would be worth it. Just one coffee, he said. Trust me. Torrin trusted him. Saying no to Stellan is impossible. Then the door opens. Veda Brooks rolls in, beautiful brown eyes scanning the room, hearing aids just visible behind her hair. The second her gaze lands on Torrin, standing, able-bodied, clearly hearing, her whole world collapses. She freezes in the doorway. Tears fill her eyes, her chest rises and falls too fast, and devastation spreads across her face like ink in water. Torrin walks toward her slowly, already signing as he speaks. Veda, I'm Torrin. Her eyes widen at the fluent sign language, but instead of relief, more pain flashes across her face. Her hands fly up, trembling, angry, desperate. Did Stellan tell you? Did he tell you about me before you came? Torrin signs back honestly. He said he knew someone special. That's all. Veda's laugh is bitter, broken. She signs fast, tears falling. Of course he did this. He told me I was meeting someone exactly like me. Someone who would understand. Someone who wouldn't see me as pathetic. Her hands stop midair. Then they start again, shaking so hard Torrin can barely read them. You can go. Please just go. Save us both the embarrassment. I've been through this before, the awkward smiles, the forced talk, then the relief when it's over. I can't do it again. She covers her face, shoulders shaking with silent sobs she can't hear herself make. People are staring now, but Torrin only sees the raw humiliation in her eyes, the kind that comes from being hurt too many times. She signs again, frantic. I thought I was meeting someone who would actually understand, and instead it's just another person who's going to pretend for an hour and disappear. I'm so stupid for believing him. Then Torrin does something that surprises even himself. He pulls out the chair across from her, sits down, stays right in her line of sight, and signs slow and clear. You're right. Stellan didn't tell me everything. He should have been honest with both of us. But I'm not here out of pity, and I'm not leaving. Veda looks up, face soaked, confusion mixing with pain. Why? She signs. Why would you stay? You could walk out and forget this ever happened. Torrin leans forward. Because I know what it's like to be set up by friends who think they know what you need. I know what it's like to feel managed instead of respected. And I know what it's like to be so tired of people's pity that you'd rather be alone than face one more fake smile. He pauses, lets her see his eyes. My wife died 3 years ago. For 3 years everyone has tried to help me move on, blind dates, sad looks, treating me like I'm broken. So I get it. I get feeling tricked. I get being angry. If you want me to leave, I will. No questions. But if you're willing to start over, just two people who got ambushed having coffee, I'd like to stay. Veda stares at him for a long, long moment. Her breathing is still uneven, tears still falling, but something shifts in her eyes, like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. You really know ASL? She finally signs, slow. Like actually know it, not just hello and thank you. My mom is deaf, Torrin answers. Been signing before I could walk. It's my first language. The tiniest smile tugs at her lips. She wipes her face, takes a shaky breath. I'm sorry. She signs, smaller now. When I saw you weren't disabled, I thought you'd take one look and run. Torrin smiles softly. I thought the same thing when I saw you. That you'd think, great, another guy who pities me. And then I thought, wow, Stellan really undersold how beautiful you are. That breaks the ice. She laughs, a real, uneven, genuine laugh that makes Torin's chest feel lighter than it has in years. How old is your daughter? She asks. And just like that, with one simple, human question, the wall between them crumbles. Torin shows her a photo of 7-year-old Amalia, wild curls, gap-toothed grin, holding a volcano's science project. She's learning ASL from my mom. He signs. But she's still pretty rusty. Veda studies the picture for a long time. When she looks up, her eyes are calmer. Stellan told me you were a widower, that you understood loss. That's why I agreed to meet you. She signs carefully. I thought maybe you'd understand what it's like to have your whole life change in an instant. Tell me. Torin signs gently. And she does. 5 years ago, Veda was 26, engaged, a graphic designer who loved hiking the Columbia River Gorge. One perfect day on Eagle Creek Trail, she stepped back for a photo, and fell 40 feet down the cliff. Spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury, fractured skull. Doctors told her fiancé Andrew she might not survive surgery. She did. They said she might never wake up. She did. They said the paralysis would probably be permanent. It was. Then, 3 weeks into rehab, her hearing began to fade. Within 6 months she was profoundly deaf. She had to learn sign language while learning to live in a body that no longer worked the way it used to. And Andrew? Torin asked softly. Veda's smile is sad. He stayed the first 3 months, visited every day, said all the right things. Then one day he sat by my hospital bed and told me he loved me, but couldn't handle the changes. He left me in rehab, barely able to dress myself, learning to be deaf, learning the wheelchair. Said he'd always care, but couldn't be what I needed. Torin's eyes darkened with understanding. That's why Stellan set this up. He's trying to make up for his cousin's mistake. Veda's eyes widen. Andrew is Stellan's cousin? Torin nods. He told me once his cousin made the biggest mistake of his life, and has been trying to fix it ever since. Veda signs with a tired laugh. Great plan. Terrible execution. They order second coffees. Then third. 3.5 hours disappear. Torin tells her about his wife Maria, 18 months fighting cervical cancer, the little girl who was 4 when her mommy never came home from the hospital. He signs about 5:30 a.m. wake-ups, making lunches, working as a physical therapist, collapsing at midnight, doing it all again. That sounds exhausting. Veda signs. It is. Torin smiles. But Amalia is the reason I keep going. Closing time comes too soon. As Torin stands to leave, Veda catches his hand. Thank you. She signs, eyes serious. For staying. For seeing the actual person having a breakdown in a coffee shop. Torin signs back. The person I saw wasn't breaking down. She was brave enough to show up anyway. That takes real courage, courage that has nothing to do with what your body can do. Would you want to do this again? He asks. A real date. No, Stellan. I'd like that. Veda signs, smiling with her eyes for the first time all day. 1 week later they meet at an art gallery, fully accessible, Veda giving him a passionate tour of her favorite pieces. Their third date, Torin rearranges his entire kitchen so she can cook beside him, flour everywhere, laughter everywhere. Their fifth date, he introduces her to Amalia at the Children's Museum. Amalia signs, hi, all wrong, Veda corrects her gently, and 3 hours later Amalia declares Veda the coolest person ever. Weeks turn into months. Veda meets Torin's deaf mother Eleanor. They sign so fast Torin can't keep up, both women crying happy tears. In January, Torin takes Veda back to the rehabilitation center after hours, empty and quiet. She touches the parallel bars where she learned to transfer, remembers crying in the hallway the day Andrew left her. Then she looks at Torin, vulnerable, strong, and signs the words she needs him to hear. I'm not a project. I'm not someone to rescue. I have a full life, my work, my friends, my independence. If you're here because you feel sorry for me, or because fixing me will fix your grief, tell me now. Because I'm falling for you, Torin, and I can't survive another Andrew. Torin takes her hands, tears in his own eyes, and signs every word he's been carrying for months. I'm not here to fix you. You're not broken. I'm here because when I'm with you I remember how to live, not just survive. That first day when you were crying and telling me to leave, that was the moment I knew you were real. You showed me your pain, your fear, and somehow we connected. I'm falling for you because you're brilliant, funny, stubborn, passionate, and real. The whole package. Exactly as you are. Veda's hands fly to her face, tears falling again, but this time they're different. She speaks aloud, voice thick, words slightly slurred but clear. Promise me this is real. Torin pulls her close, signs against her skin. It's real. So real. Then he kisses her, their first kiss, tasting like tears and hope and everything they never thought they'd find again. They say, I love you. That night in the empty hallway where she once felt most alone. This time, someone chooses to stay. Months later, on a golden evening in the rose garden, Torin drops to one knee. Amalia helped him practice the signs for weeks. Veda Brooks, 9 months ago I walked into a cafe expecting disaster and found you instead. You taught me what it means to truly see someone. You showed Amalia strength comes in all forms. You made me excited about tomorrow again. I'm not asking you to complete me. I'm asking you to build a life with me, to be Amalia's stepmom, my partner in all the chaos and joy. Will you marry me? Veda's hands shake so hard she can barely sign the single word. Yes. 3 months later, in that same rose garden, they marry. The ceremony is in English and ASL. Amalia scatters petals everywhere and shouts there will be no objections. When they exchange vows, signing promises to always see each other truly, there isn't a dry eye in the garden. At the reception, as fairy lights glow and music plays, Torin finds Veda watching the celebration. What are you thinking? He signs. That coffee shop. She signs back. I was so sure I'd always be alone. Then you sat down. You didn't leave when I begged you to. You saw me at my worst and chose to stay. Best decision I ever made. Torin signs. Mine too, Veda answers, lacing their fingers. I love you, husband. I love you, wife. 2 people who met at their absolute lowest, who chose honesty over performance, who built something real from tears and truth. Sometimes the best love stories don't start with perfect first impressions. They start with someone looking at you, crying, broken, terrified, and saying, I'm not leaving. And if you're very lucky, they end exactly like this, with rings, and promises, and a little girl who finally gets to call someone mom again. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear that it's never too late, that broken doesn't mean unworthy, that someone out there will choose you, exactly as you are. Thank you for staying with me until the end, just like Torin stayed for Veda.